Live here. We're live here at Sarasota Capitol Studios to do this fantasy football video for the Week 9 matchup preview. Um, you know, you've all been clamoring for it all week. We know what happened last week. My team dominated once again. Tevin Coleman, 4 touchdowns, and now you all are begging for Tevin Coleman. I've gotten multiple offers for Tevin Coleman this week. Well, guess what? You can't have him. Y'all were too stupid to go get him before he blew up. The guy's an RB1. Sorry. So now that little piece of business has been addressed, let's talk about this week's matchup. So I get John this week, and John is in bye week hell with no Robert Woods, no Tyler Boyd, no Julio Jones. David Johnson's out. He just picked up an injured Deshaun Jackson who's playing the Bears and not a playable matchup. It's a rough week for John. I'm getting Davante Adams back. On the plus side for John, I have no Michael Thomas and no Alvin Kamara this week. So, it does leave the door open that maybe my team might underperform this week. It's going to be tough, though, with Rodgers playing absolutely lights out and Davante Adams, of course, coming back. My bold prediction is that Rodgers connects with Adams twice for 2 touchdowns. Rodgers to Adams, I'm going to stack that 2 tutties. I also think I could kind of throw this out there as a bold prediction too, that John's going to have the lowest scoring wideout group in the league this week. And I'm going to include his flex. So wideout plus flex, John's going to have the lowest score in the league this week. He's starting Terry McLaurin at Buffalo, absolute disaster spot. He's playing against Tre'Davious White. He's got a rookie QB throwing him the ball. That it's not something you want. Sammy Watkins is going to be facing Xavier Rhodes in Minnesota. He's not going to do anything. Matt Moore's out there. It's a terrible play. Kenyon Drake has been on the Cardinals for 3 days, and you're rolling him out there against the best defense in football. I don't care what anybody says about the Patriots. They haven't played anybody. The best defense in the league right now is the San Francisco 49ers. So there you go. Of course, I'm going to take the W. You guys know that. Come on. Obviously, I'm going to take the W. Now, we got Tony Bell Ertz My Ears versus Power Belly Jared. Jared, I love the team name, the throwing it out to Otis, heavy machinery. Love it. Power Belly. Honestly, I haven't really looked at this too much. If I were Jared, I'd be scared to death of Matt Stafford to Kenny Golladay, though. That is a frightening combination. Mike Evans is a terrible play this week. He's going to score 6 points or less because the Seahawks play a lot of zone, and Evans doesn't do anything against zone. He's a man-to-man guy that wins the one-on-one battle. I think it's a big Chris Godwin week. Mike Evans does nothing. Josh Jacobs and Christian McCaffrey, of course, are both going to do well. Josh Jacobs against the Lions, great matchup. On the flip side of things, Chris Carson has a disaster of a matchup against the Bucs, and Chris Carson really hasn't been that great as of late. So don't love that. Of course, McCaffrey more than cancels out Barkley because McCaffrey's just the man. The really funny thing here, though, Jared is playing Dallas Goedert against Tony Zach Ertz. So, by the way, the Bears don't allow the tight end to do anything, and both of you idiots are playing tight ends against the Bears. It's just absolutely stupid. But I think Goddard's the better play at this point. He's consistently outscoring Ertz. It's ridiculous, but it is happening. So, bold prediction there. My bold prediction in this matchup is that Le'Veon Bell falls on his face at the Dolphins and puts up less than 10 points against the Dolphins because he's Le'Veon Bell. And that's just what it is, man. That's where he's at right now. So there you go, bold prediction. And I'm going to go ahead and give the nod to my man Power Belly Jared. Takes this down and gets one step closer to the playoffs. So we got on to Cincinnati versus Draft Dodger. So the grudge match between Reese and Steve. And while Reese never got to physically slap Steve, I do think this week he metaphorically slap Steve in the face in this matchup. Big problem though for Reese. T.Y. Hilton looks like he's questioned on the wrong side of questionable, might not play. Reese is probably gonna have to go dumpster diving for a wideout. Terrell Williams popped up on the injury report too, but I think Terrell Williams is gonna be good to go in a good spot against the Lions too. By the way, Derek Carr to Terrell Williams, love it this week. Zeke Elliott against the Giants in a smash spot. Hunter Henry in a great spot against the Packers because simply they're going to be behind by a ton early and they're going to have to throw. So speaking of that, Melvin Gordon is borderline cuttable at this point, and Sony Michel is not going to do dink at Baltimore. As I mentioned before, though, Chris Godwin should be in for a big week. I expect big things from DK Metcalf this week. So, I never pick either one of you guys to win. I never pick Reese. I never pick Steve. So this is a tough one for me. My bold prediction here in this game is that Darren Waller, the Walrus, will finish as the top scoring tight end in the league this week, en route to Steve defeating Reese. There's the prediction. Steve defeats Reese this week. Sorry, Reese. You're going to lose, bro. I don't know what to tell you. The number 1 team losing to the number 10 team. This is just how fantasy works, dude. Now, we got Brad Big League Chew, who finally set his lineup. Hey, once every 2 weeks isn't that bad, I guess. Versus Kittle Johnson. Joe, you probably go ahead and cut Ty Johnson. I know you like having the team name, but there's other team names you can have, like, Dr. Injured Reserve, something like that. Joe's team's kind of in shambles right now. A really rough running back situation ever since your man Carry-On went down. But I like Joe's matchups this week, and obviously Brad's team is just a trash heap. It's a used diaper filled with Indian food. He's got nothing. He's got literally nothing. I looked at Brad's team to see if there was some kind of deal I could make with him. There was literally nothing I wanted on his team. The only good player he's got is Amari Cooper. So let's see. Bold prediction. Brad is not the lowest scoring team in the league this week, but he's not going to outscore Joe. So he's going to outscore Reese, who's going to score nothing. So there you go. Joe takes the W this week against Brad. Now, last and certainly probably least is Jason Baby Arms Gotch, who I have on good authority wanted me to announce his team as Princess the Cat this week against Legion of Zoom. Now, Princess the Cat has a very special place in Tony Sr.'s heart. It's why he subscribes to Catster magazine. It's a big deal to him. So to face off with Princess the Cat has got to be a very traumatizing thing for Tony Sr. Now, I'll give Jason credit for guts here, throwing out Sam Darnold after the way Darnold has looked. The last 2 weeks combined, 2 games combined, Darnold has 4 fantasy points. It's ugly, man. It's real ugly. So Julian Edelman ought to be fine. Tyreek Hill's going to be fine against the Vikings. They're saying now Mahomes has an outside shot at suiting up on this one. He's practicing as the number 2 quarterback already. I don't know. I kind of got the feeling he's going to play. And if Mahomes plays, that shifts this matchup quite a bit. You look at Derrick Henry, who basically is turned back into a pumpkin since he went on to Jason's team. I do like Michael Gallup. I think anytime you can get a guy from Jared, you're usually getting somebody that's about to blow up. That's just what it is. Mark Andrews was a good pickup. I don't think the Patriots stop him. But I do think Evan Ingram's a great tight end play. I think DJ Chark has a big week. Minshew to Chark is going to be a problem for you there, Jason. And for that reason, my bold prediction is that Minshew hits the Sharknado with not one, but 2 tutties en route to throwing 4 total touchdowns. And Minshew just goes to town on the Texans this week. I got Senior taking this one down in the upset. And that's what I got for you guys this week. And hopefully, whether you like it or not, that's what's going to happen. You better learn to love it. And there you go. I will see you guys Tuesday for the recap.